is it hard to find actors who are able to play roles that are kind of like very sort of out there and heightened, but still kind of grounded in the reality that the show is in?
I don't think it's hard at all because the writing is so good. And I think it makes it very easy, again, because the writing is so good.
Yeah, I think the only note we usually give is the world is heightened. You can be grounded. You don't need
Yeah.
to push it. The things you're saying and doing are probably crazy, but keep it real
Hmm.
life. Yeah.
Eric Kripke likes leans to the very real and the very simple more than the broad as far as acting.
Yeah, actors have always been game to go for it. I don't think
Hmm.
that anyone's too shy when they're auditioning because they know what they're getting into. We try and be very clear and give them all the information they need uh, when joining us for one of our crazy roles.
Did any new actors like completely like surprise you, or any actors in the show surprise you and sort of reshape an idea for the character that you originally had going in?
These are very hard questions.
I'm sorry. I like the
Um,
show so much. I'm like, oh,
I know. I don't think so, but I'm trying to think.
I
Um,
mean, our two new series regulars from season four, Susan Hayward and Valerie Curry, I think both nailed the character. And then Susan's her Sage was a little more elusive, and then seeing her kind of embody it made the role clearer for me at least.
yeah, I
Seeing her
agree with
do
that
it made it was
completely.
like, ooh, this makes sense.
This makes sense,
Yeah.
exactly. I just love her. I love them both, but
So Nathan Mitchell, he was originally Black Noir.
mm,
Did you guys know going into season four that he was gonna be new Noir?
I,
yes.
yeah, an inkling because of our season three flashback where you see the character out of costume and it wasn't Nathan. In a way, we were like, hey, why we never see his face? Why aren't we using him anyway? And they're like, there's plans. So
Yeah,
season four, we kind of knew it was coming. So we're so excited for him. Seeing
very excited. I
best.
love him.
Do you guys get a chance to tell him that and just see how happy he is for that?
No, unfortunately, we don't get, that's the drag of being a casting director is that you don't, the good part is you don't share in the sorrow when they don't get a part or something, but the bad part is that you don't really share in that kind of joy usually. I mean, in the olden days when there was in-person network and studio sessions for series regulars, you would occasionally see the actors when they got the job, although even that was rare because they often wouldn't be alerted till later.
Yeah, shooting in
We didn't,
Toronto, we don't get to see him
yeah.
as much. I mean, we saw him after he got it in season one, and he happened to be in town. We got to
Yeah, and
meet
he
him.
came by.
Like,
That was
it was
awesome.
awesome.
Mhm.
But otherwise, it's just us kind of emailing with their agents and them being like, they're having so much fun, and we
Yeah.
love to hear that when we get reports like that.
I remember a while back reading a couple of interviews, and I went back to reference them. But Antony Starr and Jessie Usher both said that they thought their initial auditions were terrible. They hated them. Obviously, they weren't. But like, what did you guys see in those auditions that stood out and said, "We want to bring you back"?
Well, in Antony's case, he did it, I believe, from a trailer
Yeah, he
on
was
some
shooting like an
set.
indie movie or something in his
Yeah,
trailer.
and it was
Yeah.
just bad quality, that not his audition, but the tape was bad quality. So we had to have him do it again. And he's just so special. Even I did not know how genius I think he is in that role. How he would develop. Jesse.
He was shooting a movie too. And
Oh,
so
that's
this was
right.
also, I think, just both. And I think he nailed it, but just again, I think with the self tape and not being there, just wanting to tweak it just a touch. That I think if he
Yeah.
was, in the room and wasn't out of town, it would have been a one and done. Um,
Because on the pilot we did all or the majority of in-room auditions. It wasn't Zoom or it was all before COVID and
so yeah, I think them just probably not being in the room with Eric and the team probably made them doubt it. But when we all watched it, we knew, and we
Mhm.
just had to, yeah, get those right tapes.
With Zoom auditions, or no, actually self tapes. Is life easier for you guys now, or do you prefer like Zoom auditions where you can actually talk and sort of, go through it with somebody?
Well, I'll speak and then I'll let Jackie speak. I was so opposed to the whole idea of Zoom auditions because to me, my favorite part in those days was interacting with the actors. And but what I think that the whole Zoom situation has done is allow us to see so many more people and give so many more people opportunities, because in those days you might bring in 6 to 8, maybe 10 people per role. So you'd be a little nervous to take chances. Now we'll see hundreds per role.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I miss being able to give direction, especially when you see a tape and the actor's great. Maybe their take wasn't exactly it. And depending on the turnaround time, it's like, do we have time to ask them to go back on tape? And sometimes, it's 24 hours. You have to communicate it to the reps and then they have to retape and then it comes back to you. So it's not just like when you're in the room, hey, let's try it again this way, and you immediately get it. But you do get introduced to so many more people. Yeah, you have time and you can have someone take a risk and you'll watch it. I think Zoom's a nice balance. I mean, sometimes the tech isn't perfect, but at least you get to meet with the actors because that's kind of the best part and getting to know them. And it's producers too, when they're like, we're signing all these people, signing year-long contracts, and we've never met them in person. So it's taken trust on everybody's end to make it work, but we have been.
How long? Yeah, I mean, you know what? I would imagine like somebody, a kind of a relatively unknown actor, sends in their self-tape for like a huge role. That's got to take huge trust on your part, to bring them to sign them.
I mean, I think we do our due diligence and yeah, Zoom with them, get to know them, talk to the reps. But it's also so rewarding to be part of discovering someone and
Yeah.
giving them their first big job.
What's been the trickiest part for you guys to cast?
Oh, that's always a tough question.
I don't try to like
I
everyone.
don't think this particular show has had any really. I mean, if you ask about other shows, I can tell you the trickiest roles, but I don't think. I mean, this is a show that, first of all, everyone wants to do. And so we have that luxury of having, a lot of wonderful talent because people love the show.
I think back in the day, maybe Frenchie was tough because
Yeah,
of
maybe,
finding
yeah.
someone who felt European enough and could
Mhm.
do the accent and all that. He was maybe the toughest, but
Yeah, no, I can't think of anybody else.
otherwise, I mean, the writing is so good. So we like, it's honestly fun to watch auditions because everyone's good. It makes our job a little tougher when you love so many people, but it's fun.
I want to get back to Antony Starr for 1 second. There's points in the show when he doesn't say anything and the camera just like kind of lingers on his face and he goes through like 8 million emotions, I feel like, in 15 seconds. And it's just, sometimes I like rewind it just to watch it just because it's so great to watch.
He is so good.
Just the control he has over like every muscle in his face is amazing.
How long had you known him, him and his work prior to him getting cast?
Very little Banshee, but I watched Banshee I think once or twice. So his was really off of his tape, and he wasn't necessarily the physical type that we were looking for. But he now has conveyed that physical type. I mean, 100, but that was all I knew him from. And I don't think I'd ever auditioned him, but things will pop up all the time. I just found out this week that I cast a bunch of people that I completely forgot about that show. That's going to be a great story I'm going to tell all the time now.
Put it in the book.
Put it in the book. Yeah, exactly.
If you guys just totally love an actor, how do you kind of advocate for that to like Eric Kripke or other showrunners to sort of put it into to burrow into their head that this is like the guy or girl?
Speaking for me, luckily I've worked with Eric now for 20 years. I did Supernatural. So there's a shorthand and there's a trust that has been built. So if I really believe in someone, I'll text Eric and just say, this is, this is what I think. And then Eric is so wonderful and open that he'll at least take it into consideration. And it may not be ultimately who gets it, but there's that comfort level, which is something that usually only comes with time,
Yeah, it's definitely trust and communicating with your producers, because there's times they're like, well, who do you guys like the most when they ask that? And then it's that. But I think they also know we're not going to send them someone we don't believe in 100%.
Yes.
Is there somebody that you guys did this for on the show?
Oh,
I think like this one, it's like I feel like everyone we've gotten has been everyone's known it's the one.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
walk out or we watch it, we're like, that's them.
yeah, it's been
I think
it's been very unanimous for the most part, which is
when it
wonderful.
clicks, it clicks.
This you guys are doing. I don't know if you finished filming season 5 or you're in the midst of it or about to, but do you guys get sort of uh, mournful is not the right word, but like at the end of like this brilliant, wonderful show, do you guys get sort of mournful of it? Like wistful, saying, "Oh,
Yes.
coming to an end."
Yes.
We have a couple months left of shooting, the last season, but it's wild to know that it's going to be done. This one in particular. I mean, we have Gen V and Jensen's new show, so the world's not done.
Yeah.
But this one that's been such a big part of our lives for the past 7 years almost.
Oh yeah, I'll be sad for
Yeah,
sure. I cried when I read the season finale. It just made me sad. It was just, and I think it was everything. It was knowing that it's ending and, all of it.
And feel free to tell me what's happening. What happens?
Oh yeah, I'll take all the secrets.
I'd be happy to hear.
It's so good, so good.
Yeah, I have no doubt. I can't wait. So how can an actor make a sort of a strong impression on their self-tape for you? I know, like, maybe film it in a trailer with bad,
Yeah,
like
I know exactly.
Antony Starr. Yeah.
The only thing I ever think the only thing that I think an actor should be is prepared. And I think that I don't care how the self-tape looks at all, as long as you can hear it and see it. It doesn't have to be, they don't have to rent. I mean, it's wonderful. I mean, it's nice when you get these gorgeous self-tapes that are in studios and everything, but it doesn't make any difference in determining who we send. I don't care where it's shot, because also mainly because I know it's not easy to do so. It's not easy to have auditions and have to do a self-tape, and you may not have the opportunity. You may be on vacation. You may not, you just have to do it when and where you can do it. So I think it just has to be a self-tape that you in particular can hear and see, and then that they're prepared. That's all I really look for. And then again, because the writing's so good, the talent almost always rises to the occasion. So we end up looking for the people that just pop. And that's something you can't describe.
And then I get my final question is, for somebody who's auditioned for you, how can they kind of keep on your radar?
Well, that's much more difficult nowadays without offices. But I can attest that they do. I have hundreds of emails. My email must be posted everywhere.
I mean, I think we also take really good notes when we watch tapes together. I'm in charge of, so it's like,
yes,
even
yes.
if we're like, they're not this, but we like a quick note about what we liked about them and like what they could be right for. So I think we're also keeping track.
Oh yeah, we remember people, what they can do above that is tough, and I'm not exactly sure. There's a new thing that I subscribe to that Seth Colton does, which is a thing with digital postcards, because actors used to send postcards, and I go to that, and look at that every week. But I think that it's more that it's our knowledge and our memory of people. And like Jackie said, she takes incredible notes. And I always tell people that I honestly, if you send me to go somewhere, I don't know the left from right, but I can remember what somebody wore in 3rd grade. My brain's that weird kind of, so I don't forget an actor that I like.
I wish I had that memory.
Tim, I think we just try and be super organized on our end about,
Yes.
who we love and keeping them in mind. And sometimes in the boys we don't have the most roles, because this deep into the season it's a lot of recurring, so there's not a ton of, new actors every week. But just trying when actors are like, oh, I've auditioned for this one 10 times, and it's like, it's because we like you. Like we're
Yes,
trying to,
that's something very
it's a
important.
good sign if we keep bringing you back. We're not doing it to be nice. We believe in your talent. Yeah.
You're torturing me.
Yeah.
That is such an important thing she said, because I can remember we did CSI, and I can remember somebody came in so many times and they're like, they just must hate me. He'd been in 15 times. The 16th time he booked a great part. The casting director is bringing you back because they like you and believe in you. Not like Jackie said, not just to
Be nice. We're not trying to waste your time
shits
or
and
our
giggles.
time. Like
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
we want every person in the room
they
to
don't want
do
to waste
a
their
job.
time. Yeah, but we like you if you're coming back over and over. And then when the role is right and everything is perfect, you'll get it,
Well, I don't want to waste any more of your time. I really appreciate you guys doing this. This was a treat for me. I love the show. I can't wait for season 5. And if you want, you can email me and just let me know what's going to happen. I won't say a word. But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Talk
All
to
right.
you later.